Welcome back to the Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got former Congressman Steve Stockman on the program. He has been on my program so many times because he's very entertaining. But you can see, even as we were getting started, I had to restrain him. He wanted to get going. He could care less if the show is actually on or not. He is a walking radio program. Steve, always good to see you. How are you, sir?
Fabulous. How have you been?
I am great. Always glad to have you on the program.
Good to be back in Houston.
So much going on. You know, you're one of those rare individuals who served in Congress 4 years, but you did it over 2 decades, you know, and that type of thing.
Every time I come back, the government shuts down.
That's true. You were there the last time.
Yes, I was.
Which I consider great periods of government because, you know, spending always goes down. Yep. You know, and they talk about, all my friends on Facebook complain about them not working, you know, and only necessary employees are working. And I'm like going, wait a minute, we got a $20 trillion debt. We should only have necessary employees working all the time.
By the way, did you feel the pain when the government shut down?
Not at all.
He had to spend extra money to shut down sites. You know, he put up a barrier around the World War II monument, and all these veterans were coming in to visit. He had to hire extra staff and put up barriers to a monument that had no barriers. I mean, everybody would have been fine, but he spent money to make sure that the veterans felt the pain. And I was speaking out there, actually, with Sarah Palin and some other people, and I thought my mic wasn't on, so I started chanting, "Tear down this wall," from, you know, Reagan's great speech. Next thing I know, the veterans were tearing it down and took it to the White House, and I and my staff said, "Steve, let's get the heck out of here before you get arrested." So
yeah, that's just classic. You know, they're really worried about guys in wheelchairs, the greatest generation, coming in there and being troublemakers. Yeah. It's really tragic, and it just shows you what a football. Of all the footballs you choose, how do you choose that one?
By the way, there's a big myth out there. It really irritates me. Is Republicans are so fearful. I mean, I was in the caucus. As you know, we have a weekly caucus meeting, and they're all saying, we can't shut the government down because, you know, we're going to lose. We end up winning more seats.
Right.
People were happy for us standing up for once, and yet the myth is still prevailing out there. One of the reasons we got this horrible bill that was passed by Ryan was that, quite frankly, he was afraid of the government shutdown.
The spending bill.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that gets Republicans reelected and more, because people are looking for action. And guess what? Stopping is action.
The one thing, by the way, that Obama's promised he'd get done before he left office, Ryan gave to him. There was a Cadillac tax on unions, and that tax was going to happen right before the election. Could you imagine, Kevin, if that tax took place and all those union guys hit them up for $100, $200 a month additional for having insurance? We would have won every state in the union, and yet Ryan gave that away. It was a horrible, horrible idea. It's
unbelievable. Talk a little bit, but you know, it appears that Barack Obama seems to be helping the GOP. You know, it's ironic to me that almost 1 year exactly from when a new president will take the inauguration, that he passes new regulation that expands gun control. And really, from a policy perspective, it isn't that significantly more. People are going to continue to be able to get plenty of guns, but it really irritated people on a large measure. And I'm hearing more and more stories of people who've never owned guns themselves who are now finding it unconscionable not to own a gun because they're afraid that right in the future is going to be taken away. How do you explain that? 1 year before, tone deaf, yes, but what else?
I think it's amazing because, you know, some of those same laws which were passed were in California. That didn't stop a shooting.
Right.
I mean, if you're willing to murder, are you really going to say, well, I can't murder someone because it's against the law to have an illegal gun? I mean, the fact is that when he does this, we talked earlier about this, when he does this, people go out wanting to defend themselves. And one of the few stocks that actually increased, besides a few of the technical stocks
and healthcare stocks,
was the gun stocks. They tripled in price. If you invested when Obama got elected in some of these gun companies, you tripled your money.
Yep.
So it's phenomenal, and a record sales. No other president has had this many gun sales as Obama, and so it's really, quite honestly, hilarious in a way.
Good for the gun businesses, Barack Obama. When we come back, we're going to have more of Congressman Steve Stockman. The show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Stay tuned for more.